Welcome to a journey through America's national parks, a testament to the sheer majesty and beauty of nature. These lands, preserved for their unparalleled splendor, are home to some of the most awe-inspiring vistas and diverse wildlife on the planet. From the towering peaks of the Rockies to the serene valleys of the Smokies, our national parks are treasures to be explored and cherished. They invite adventurers, nature lovers, and families alike to immerse themselves in their natural wonder. But amidst this beauty, there lies an untold side of these vast wilderness areas, a side that is mysterious and unsettling. In the depths of these parks, strange and unexplained events have occurred, events that continue to puzzle experts and visitors alike. There have been numerous accounts of people who ventured into these parks only to disappear without a trace. These aren't just stories, they are real-life mysteries, leaving families and search teams grappling for answers in the vast expanse of the wild. As we delve into the beauty and grandeur of our national parks, we also explore these perplexing mysteries. Join us as we uncover the tales of the unexplained and the vanished, a reminder of the respect and caution these natural wonders command. This is not just a journey through nature's artistry. It's a deeper exploration into the heart of America's national parks, a journey where beauty meets mystery. Harry Mahone, a 21-year-old college student, was a beacon of promise at San Benito Junior College. His intelligence and athletic prowess set him apart, and his leadership skills shone brightly in his role as the president of the student body. While the details of his early life and upbringing remain somewhat obscure, it's clear from his standing among his peers and professors that Harry was a well-respected and much admired figure on campus. On December 18, 1925, in the spirit of adventure and camaraderie, Harry, alongside two of his close friends from his days at Hollister High School, Jeff Newark and Russell Hawkins, embarked on a bear hunting expedition. Their destination was the rugged and picturesque Sierra Nevada mountains, right on the cusp of Yosemite National Park. This excursion was not just a hunt, it was a celebration of their friendship during the holiday season, a chance to bond away from the pressures of college life. The trio set up their base camp in a secluded area nestled between Hazel Green and Gin Flat, not far from the stunning vistas of the Yemi Valley. The location was strategic, offering them a good vantage point for their hunt and easy access to the surrounding wilderness. Here, amidst the tranquility of nature, they made their plans for the hunt. The strategy was simple yet effective. Split up to cover more ground, thereby increasing their chances of encountering a black bear. Jeff, always the most eager and impulsive of the three, was the first to venture out. He had a specific area in mind and wanted to waste no time in setting off. Meanwhile, Harry and Russell lingered at the camp, finalizing their approach. After a while, they too embarked on separate paths, agreeing to maintain a reasonable distance from each other, but still within the same general vicinity. As the day unfolded, an unforeseen challenge arose. A fierce snowstorm began to sweep over the mountains, transforming the landscape into a treacherous and unforgiving environment. Jeff, sensing the change in weather, hurried back to the campsite. He arrived to find Harry and Russell still missing. Concerned but hopeful, Jeff waited, trusting in their wilderness skills and expecting them to return as the storm intensified. Russell eventually made his way back, but there was no sign of Harry. The clock ticked past their agreed-upon meeting time of 5 p.m., and with each passing minute, worry turned into fear. 2 hours later, with the snow falling heavier, Russell and Jeff knew they had to act. They re-entered the forest, braving the worsening conditions, calling out for Harry, firing shots into the air in hopes of guiding him back to safety. As night fell and their efforts yielded no response, the gravity of the situation became clear. Despite Harry's proficiency in survival skills and his familiarity with scout law, something had gone awry. The friends had made the difficult decision to seek help, leading them to a nearby ranger station. What followed was an extensive and exhaustive search effort. A team of 25, consisting of park rangers, professional searchers, and volunteers combed the area. They retraced the steps taken by Russell and Jeff, pushing further into the wilderness, hoping to find any sign of Harry. The search was met with silence. As days turned into weeks, hope dimmed. In a tragic turn of events, it wasn't until June of 1926, 6 months after his disappearance, that the mystery of Harry's whereabouts was partially solved. His remains were discovered near Gin Flat by Roscoe Wright and William Scove, friends of the Mahone family. The body was found at the bottom of a steep cliff, a position that raised more questions than answers. An abrasion on his shoulder hinted at a violent impact, and the discovery of his sweater, a mere 10 feet away from his body, suggested a struggle or an attempt to survive the harsh conditions. The coroner concluded that Harry's death was accidental, but the specific causes remain unknown. This conclusion, however, did little to quell the whispers of foul play or the theories of an accidental fall or hypothermia. The fact that his body was found in an area previously searched multiple times fueled speculations of him being placed there. Further adding to the intrigue were reports of a clairvoyant's involvement, leading to the discovery of a shallow grave and empty cartridges near Hazel Green. These findings, though never officially linked to Harry's case, cast a shadow of doubt and mystery over the entire investigation. As the years passed, the case of Harry Mahone became a topic of local legend and speculation. Theories ranged from animal attacks to accidental falls, from survival gone wrong to sinister human intervention. But the truth, obscured by time and the elements, remained as elusive as the snowflakes that blanketed the Sierra Nevada on that fateful December day. Harry's story of friendship, adventure, and mystery left a mark on the community. The search for answers continued in the aftermath of the discovery of Harry's remains. The involvement of private detectives, spurred by the Mahone family's relentless quest for closure, introduced new but inconclusive elements to the narrative. The detectives, following leads from a clairvoyant, unearthed contradictory evidence, including a sweater believed to have belonged to Harry, found at a distant ranch, and a shallow grave near Hazel Green. These findings, though intriguing, only deepened the enigma surrounding Harry's fate. Amidst the swirling theories and growing folklore, two camps of thought emerged. One group believed that Harry, overwhelmed by the sudden snowstorm, might have succumbed to hypothermia following a fall. They argued that the abrasion on his shoulder and the position of his body supported this theory. This group pointed to the harsh and unpredictable nature of the Sierra Nevadas as the likely culprit in Harry's demise. On the other side were those who suspected foul play. This theory was bolstered by the mysterious circumstances surrounding the discovery of his body and the peculiar findings the private detectives had found. The possibility that Harry had encountered someone with ill intentions or had been caught in a situation far beyond a simple hunting mishap could not easily be dismissed. Polygraph tests, a novel and unproven method at the time, added another layer of complexity and intrigue. Jeff's passing of the test seemed to have absolved him from any direct involvement, but Russell's inability to take the test, due to his parents' skepticism of its accuracy, left questions unanswered. The lack of concrete evidence, coupled with the limitations of forensic science at the time, meant that speculation continued to thrive in the absence of definitive answers. As the years passed, the case of Harry Mahone faded from the headlines, but it never disappeared from the collective memory of the community. The mystery of this disappearance and death continue to be a topic of discussion, a cautionary tale of the unpredictability of nature and the frailty of human life in the face of nature's raw power. The legacy of Harry Mahone is one of enduring mystery and unresolved questions. His story, a blend of youthful exuberance, adventure, and an untimely end, remains a reminder of the mysteries that still linger in the wild, untamed spaces of the world. In the end, the saga of Harry Mahone, much like the snow-covered peaks of the Sierra Nevada, remains shrouded in mystery, a puzzle still waiting to be solved. In the rural expanse of Wasara County, Wisconsin, A dense fog enshrouded the landscape on a cold October morning in 1956. This day would mark a departure from the usual tranquility of Auroraville, a small town where community ties were strong and life was predictably serene. It was here, amidst this quiet backdrop, that a bewildering event occurred. The mysterious disappearance of 16-year-old Judy Rodencall from her family's remote farmhouse. Judy's day began as any typical school day. She woke up early, prepared for school, a routine she had followed countless times. However, this day, the last of October, would unfold in a manner far from ordinary. Judy never made it to her school bus, nor did she arrive at school. Her sudden absence sent shockwaves through the close-knit community, prompting an extensive search operation involving local law enforcement, volunteers, and even aircraft. Judy, known in the community as a quiet, pleasant girl, was not one to seek attention or cause worry. Her disappearance was completely out of character, which added to the urgency and concern of the situation. Her boyfriend, a constant in her simple life, was instrumental in raising the alarm. His arrival at the Rodencall farmhouse and the subsequent discovery of Judy's absence triggered immediate action, leading to a widespread search that gripped the entire town and beyond. Initially, the sheriff's office approached Judy's disappearance as a potential case of a missing person, perhaps even a runaway. However, this theory was quickly overshadowed by doubts raised by statements from her family and boyfriend. They described Judy as being in high spirits, looking forward to her school day, which made the likelihood of her voluntary running away seem implausible. The lack of any clear motive for her to leave home, coupled with her cheerful demeanor, shifted the focus of the investigation towards the disturbing possibility of foul play. As the search operation intensified into the second day, a significant development occurred. Bloodhounds, specially brought in from La Crosse, led the search party to a bridge over Willow Creek, located east of Highway 49. The creek, typically shallow on the side of the highway, became the focal point after the dogs picked up a scent from 2 socks and a handkerchief identified as Judy's. These items were found a considerable distance from her home, about a mile northwest, deepening the mystery and expanding the search area. Despite this promising lead, the trail abruptly went cold at the creek. The bloodhounds, instrumental in locating the socks, suddenly lost interest and were unable to continue the scent trail. This unexpected cessation puzzled the searchers and was uncharacteristic of the trained dogs. The creek was thoroughly dragged for about a half-mile, yet no evidence of Judy's presence was uncovered. The situation took an even more perplexing turn when, after nearly 60 hours of being missing, Judy was discovered by Edgar Tim, a local farmer. She emerged from the woods, disoriented and barefoot, collapsing unconscious at the doorstep of his farmhouse. She was immediately taken to the hospital, where Dr. David Sfur reported that Judy was in relatively good physical condition, though suffering from shock and exposure. Upon regaining consciousness, Judy was unable to recall any details of her time missing, leaving a significant gap in the timeline of events. The sheriff speculated that Judy might have spent the entirety of her disappearance in an outbuilding on Edgar's farm, but this theory raised more questions than it answered. The mystery of Judy's missing shoes remained unsolved. Despite exhaustive searches by teams and bloodhounds in the area around Willow Creek, Edgar's farm, and the surrounding woods, no trace of her shoes was ever found. The discovery of her socks without the shoes added an eerie and unexplained element to the case. In the wake of the search, the community was left grappling with various theories and unanswered questions. Some residents speculated about a possible encounter in the woods, perhaps with someone or something that caused Judy to become disoriented and lose her memory. Others considered the possibility of a psychological episode, potentially triggered by unknown stressors or environmental factors. The unusual behavior of the bloodhounds at the creek bridge, the unexplained discovery of her socks, and the absence of her shoes only deepened the mystery. As time passed, Judy's baffling disappearance and equally mysterious reappearance continued to be a subject of discussion, speculation, and local legend in Wasara County. The case, with its strange developments and lack of conclusive answers, remain a puzzling chapter in Auroraville's history, a puzzling reminder of the unexpected and often inexplicable mysteries that can occur even in the most serene and remote communities. The story of Judy Rodencall stands as an unsolved riddle, a testament to the enduring mystery of human experiences and the limits of our understanding of them. In the spring of 1999, Mount Rainier, a towering and majestic peak in the Cascade Range of Washington state, became the site of a series of mysterious and tragic events. These events began with the disappearance of John Ripker, a 51-year-old experienced climber who ventured to the mountain with his climbing team on May 16th of 1999. The team, a close-knit group of friends and seasoned climbers, had set their sights on the Moon Snow Field, a challenging and treacherous route situated 8,000 feet up on the 14,410-foot mountain. John's disappearance under unclear circumstances remains one of the most baffling aspects of the incident. During their descent from the mountain, amidst conditions of low visibility, John became separated from the group. The exact sequence of events leading to his separation is not known, but the team only realized he was missing when John contacted them via radio, stating that he was lost. This revelation, occurring at an elevation of about 8,000 feet, marked the beginning of a frantic search effort. The search for John garnered significant media attention. Reports from the Centralia Chronicle on May 19, 1999, detailed the challenging conditions faced by the search parties. A team of 33 searchers, supported by a helicopter, scoured the area between the Moon Snow Field and Paradise Glacier. The operation was hindered by low temperatures, strong winds, heavy precipitation, and poor visibility, all typical of the harsh conditions on Mount Rainier. Despite these challenges, there was hope for finding John, given his experience as a climber who had previously summited Mount Rainier and his preparedness, indicated by his possessions of essential climbing gear and backpack. Months after John's disappearance, in September of 1999, a startling discovery was made. The Walla Walla Union Bulletin reported the recovery of a body on Mount Rainier, believed to be that of John Ripker. Notably, the body was spotted by a helicopter pilot who had participated in the initial search for John. The pilot observed clothing consistent with what John was known to have worn, although specific details about the clothing were not reported. Intriguingly, this discovery occurred in an area that had been extensively searched during the initial rescue efforts, raising questions about the timing of John's movements or the possibility that he was overlooked by the searchers. The year 1999 also witnessed the tragic disappearance of William There, a 27-year-old medical doctor with a passion for outdoor adventure. On June 20th of 1999, William embarked on a hike to Camp Muir, situated at 10,000 feet on Mount Rainier. The conditions that day were overcast, with a mild fog, but not considered severe enough to impede visibility significantly. William, an experienced outdoorsman, was expected to descend safely from Camp Muir. However, he vanished without a trace, and extensive search operations involving professional dog teams, helicopters, and park rangers turned up no clues to his whereabouts. 2 years after his disappearance, a chance discovery led to the recovery of William's remains. Rangers found his snowboard and other equipment, followed by his body, near Nisqually Glacier at 5,800 feet beneath a waterfall. This location, off the typical descent path, provoked numerous questions. The reasons behind William's decision to travel towards the waterfall, whether he got lost or had an accident, remained a matter of speculation. Furthermore, 1999 also saw the disappearance of Chris Hartones and Raymond Vicali, experienced climbers who went missing while attempting to reach Camp Muir with their friend Frank Valensil. The group decided to split up due to Frank's slower pace, hindered by a cumbersome sled. Chris and Raymond pressed ahead, but this was the last time anyone saw them. The search for Chris and Raymond involved helicopters and ground teams, but no trace of the pair was found, adding to the series of unresolved mysteries on Mount Rainier that year. Reflecting on the events of 1999, the Centralia Chronicle described it as a particularly challenging and frustrating year for Mount Rainier's search teams. The park conducted 17 major search and rescue operations, costing nearly $250,000, about 5 times the average of the annual expenditures. The search operations were often hampered by extreme weather conditions, which are common on Mount Rainier, but seemed particularly severe that year. Despite deploying dogs, search teams, and considerable resources, the rangers and volunteers faced disappointment and frustration, as many of these searches ended without resolution. The incidents on Mount Rainier in 1999 underscore the unpredictability and perilous nature of mountain climbing. Even experienced climbers like John Ripker, William Vare, Chris Hartones, and Raymond Vicali can find themselves at the mercy of the mountain's harsh conditions and vast wilderness. The mysteries of their disappearances serves as a somber reminder of the inherent risks involved in mountaineering and the profound unpredictability of nature. The story of these climbers remain a testament to the puzzle of Mount Rainier and the mysteries that the wilderness can conceal. The case of John Ripker, in particular, highlights the critical importance of maintaining close contact with fellow climbers, especially in areas of low visibility and challenging terrain. The fact that John was able to communicate via radio after becoming separated offered a glimmer of hope, but the failure to locate him, despite this advantage, underscores the complexities and dangers inherent in mountaineering. The discovery of his body months later in a previously searched area raised questions about the effectiveness of search operations in such rugged and variable conditions. William Vare's case was equally perplexing. His passion for outdoor activities and his medical background suggested a higher level of awareness and preparedness for such an expedition. The discovery of his body beneath a waterfall, away from the expected descent route, suggested an unusual deviation from his planned path. This deviation could have been caused by disorientation, an accident, or an unknown factor that compelled him to change his course drastically. The disappearance of Chris Hartone and Raymond Vicali added another layer of mystery to the events of that year. The decision to split the group, while not uncommon in mountaineering, can introduce significant risks, especially when unexpected conditions arise. The absence of any clues or traces of Chris and Raymond, despite extensive and repeated searches, illustrates the challenges faced by search and rescue teams in such a vast and unforgiving environment. The high number of unresolved cases on Mount Rainier in 1999 also prompted introspection and analysis among the park's search and rescue teams. It raised questions about the limitations of existing search methods and the need for more advanced techniques and technologies in mountain search and rescue operations. The frustration expressed by the chief ranger and the operations leader of the Tacoma Mountain Rescue reflected the emotional toll these unsolved cases had on the involved in the search efforts. These incidents serve as a sombering reminder of the respect and caution that Mount Rainier demands from those who seek to explore its slopes. They highlight the need for meticulous planning, constant vigilance, and the importance of being prepared for the unpredictable nature of the mountain environment. The stories of John Ripker, William Vare, Chris Hartones, Raymond Vicali, and others who have disappeared on Mount Rainier continue to resonate within the climbing community, serving as cautionary tales about the risks and uncertainties of mountaineering. As adventurers continue to be drawn to the allure of Mount Rainier, these unresolved mysteries remain a testament to the mountain's awe-inspiring beauty and its equally formidable dangers. Lake Wenatchee, a majestic and serene body of water fed by glaciers and snowmelt, lies in the heart of the Wenatchee National Forest on the eastern slopes of the Cascade Mountain Range. It was here, in this captivating landscape, that a mystery unfolded: the disappearance of Hildegard Hendrickson in June of 2013. Hildegard, a distinguished 79-year-old mycologist originally from Germany, had a long and storied career. Having moved to the United States for her education, she excelled academically at the University of Washington, earning a bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degree. Her field of expertise was mycology. The study of fungi was more than just a profession, it was her passion. She was known for her remarkable skill in identifying an array of mushrooms, including the most elusive species. Her work at the Center for Urban Horticulture was a testament to her dedication and expertise. On June 8, 2013, Hildegard embarked on what was supposed to be a routine expedition. She drove to an area approximately 15 miles from Lake Winnetachi, parking near the Minnow Creek trailhead, close to Basalt Peak. This region, having been affected by wildfires the previous year, was a promising site for mushroom growth, a phenomenon often observed in post-wildfire environments. Hildegard, despite her advanced age, was undeterred by the physical challenges of the terrain. Her goal was to explore, collect, and study post-fire fungal flora. The day progressed with Hildegard meeting several individuals along the trail. Among them were fellow mushroom enthusiasts, a Forest Service employee, and notably, another doctor, a cardiologist who expressed concern about Hildegard's ability to safely navigate the steep and potentially treacherous trail. Hildegard, however, was confident in her hiking abilities, reassuring him of her experience and regular hiking routine. As Hildegard ventured deeper into the forest with her trusty blue metallic walking stick and mushroom basket in hand, little did anyone know that this would be the last time she would ever be seen. The trail, while familiar to many, held unseen dangers, and at some point during her solitary hike, an incident occurred that led to her complete disappearance. It wasn't until 3 days later that the gravity of the situation came to light. Another mushroom hunter, noticing Hildegard's car parked in the same location for an extended period, found it unlocked with her purse still inside. The discovery prompted an immediate call to 911, and a large-scale search operation was launched. The response was swift and extensive. Bloodhound teams, deputies, professional search and rescue personnel, and volunteers all joined forces. They combed the area thoroughly, with the dogs retracing Hildegard's steps along the trail and beyond. Despite their efforts, the dogs failed to pick up her scent, an unusual occurrence given the known starting point of her hike. The search operation was bolstered by advanced technology, including a helicopter equipped with thermal imaging. However, even this sophisticated equipment failed to locate Hildegard. During the search, one of the volunteers reported hearing a mysterious whistling sound, which led to a redirected focus in that area. Despite this potential lead, the source of the sound was never identified, and it did not bring them any closer to finding Hildegard. The perplexing nature of Hildegard's disappearance was underscored by Deputy Gene Ellis of the County Sheriff's Office. With 24 years of experience under his belt, he had never seen a case like this, a complete absence of clues, leads, or any trace of the missing person. The mystery deepened given Hildegard's physical limitations. She relied on a walking stick, suggesting that she couldn't have strayed very far from the trail. Several theories emerged in the wake of the fruitless search. Some speculated about possible encounters with commercial mushroom pickers. Hildegard, known for her strong opinions in her field, may have inadvertently provoked a confrontation. However, this theory, like others, lacked any concrete evidence. The mystery of the whistling sound also remained unresolved. Was it a signal from illegal foragers or an unrelated natural phenomenon? As the time passed, the case of Hildegard Hendrickson became a haunting enigma. The extensive search efforts involving numerous individuals and advanced technology yielded nothing. The Cascade Mountain Range, known for its beauty and treachery, seemed to have concealed the fate of a seasoned mycologist within its depths. 10 years later, the questions surrounding her disappearance remain unanswered, a testament to the unpredictability and often inscrutable nature of the wild. In the expansive and often unpredictable wilderness of Sequoia National Park, the disappearance of Philip Orence in September of 2005 stands out as a particularly mystifying case, marked by a frustrating lack of information and understanding. Philip, a 42-year-old outdoor enthusiast, embarked on what was supposed to be a routine, multi-day hiking trip with his brother, starting from Mineral King. The journey, initially planned as a loop to return to their starting point, took an unexpected turn when Philip began feeling unwell. This unforeseen health issue prompted a change in their plans, leading them to exit the hike at a different trailhead. At this point, Philip's brother made a crucial decision. He instructed Philip to stay put while he hitchhiked back to their parked car, intending to drive back and pick Philip up. Philip, equipped with his backpack containing essential supplies and water, agreed to wait. However, this seemingly straightforward plan would soon unravel into a perplexing mystery. The brothers' round trip took approximately 5 hours, a significant duration which Philip was left alone in a remote area. Upon his return, Philip's brother was confronted with a deeply unsettling scene. The area where he had left Philip was now devoid of any sign of him. Despite extensive searching in the surrounding forest and repeated calls, there was no response, no trace of Philip. The solitude of the area at the time Philip was left alone only deepened the mystery. The search efforts initially focused near Crescent Meadow, where Philip was last seen. The search narrowed to Sugar Pine Trail after search teams found Philip's sunglasses, an indication that he had been in that area. Alexandra Picavet of the National Park Service described the search terrain as challenging, with dense vegetation and steep embankments complicating the efforts. Despite the deployment of over 40 ground searchers, mounted patrols, dog teams, employees, volunteers, and a helicopter crew, the search proved difficult. Tragically, Philip's body was eventually discovered late on a Saturday near Crescent Creek, less than a mile from the Crescent Meadow parking area at the bottom of a steep embankment. Officials speculated that exposure might have been the cause of death, though a conclusive official cause was never publicly released. The discovery came 3 days after his disappearance, and notably, there was no mention of any injuries, such as those that might be sustained in a fall, adding to the puzzle. The most baffling aspect of this case is why Philip felt compelled to leave the spot where he was waiting for his brother. Given his unwell condition and the fact that he was equipped with supplies and water, it seems illogical for him to choose to venture into rugged and hazardous terrain in the surrounding areas. The presence of his sunglasses on the trail hinted at either a deliberate or hurried departure, raising questions about his state of mind or external factors that might have influenced his decision. Was there a sense of fear or discomfort that prompted Philip to move away from the relative safety of the parking area? The lack of evidence of any animal attack or any visible injuries on his body upon discovery ruled out some of the potential explanations, leaving room for more questions than answers. Philip was described by his family as an avid backpacker and climber, experienced in various outdoor activities. This background makes his decision to leave his waiting spot even more perplexing. His experience and comfort in the outdoors suggests that he would understand the risks of moving away from a known location, especially while unwell and awaiting his brother's return. In the absence of further information and detailed reporting, the case of Philip Orence remains an unsolved mystery, an example of how a person, for reasons unknown, can inexplicably disappear into the wilderness under seemingly benign circumstances. The story serves as a reminder of the unpredictability and the potential dangers inherent in natural environments, where even the most experienced outdoorsmen can find themselves in perilous situations. Philip's case, with its missing pieces and unanswered questions, continues to haunt those who seek to understand the mysteries hidden within the vast expanse of our national parks. The disappearance of Barbara McGee, a 38-year-old woman in the dense and mysterious wilderness of Sequoia National Park, presents a case shrouded in uncertainty and unanswered questions. On June 22nd of 1965, Barbara embarked on a solo vacation, seeking solace and perhaps adventure in the giant forest area, not far from Crescent Meadow. This location is notably close to where Philip Orence would disappear years later, adding a layer of intrigue into the area's history. Barbara's plan for a week-long retreat, however, took a dark turn, leading her to become one of the many perplexing disappearances in this national park. Barbara's decision to not regularly update anyone on her status during her stay meant that her absence went unnoticed for a significant period. It was only realized that she was missing when she failed to return home as scheduled, and she wasn't reported missing until a week after her expected return. This delay critically hampered the early stages of the search effort. The initial search operation, spanning 2 days, yielded no clues to Barbara's whereabouts. Rangers found her personal belongings, including her pocketbook and money, in her cabin, alongside a large quantity of uneaten food. This discovery indicated that Barbara had spent very little time in the cabin before vanishing into the park. The realization that she likely disappeared within hours of her arrival meant that she had been missing for an entire week before the search even began, complicating the search efforts significantly. District Ranger Paul Turner noted that the neighbors in the nearby cabins hadn't seen Barbara since her arrival. The lack of immediate concern from neighbors was not unusual, as solo travelers often seek solitude and privacy in these settings. There was no apparent reason to suspect anything was amiss. The search operation escalated when professional mountain climbers were airlifted into the Panther Gap area, leading to the High Altar Peak, following a reported sighting of Barbara. A hiker had reported seeing a woman matching Barbara's description on the day of her arrival, asking for directions to Altar Peak Trail. After the brief interaction, Barbara reportedly headed off in the direction indicated by the hiker. Given the time that had passed since her disappearance, the search teams were bracing for the possibility of recovering a body. The focus of the search included the Crescent Meadow area, which would also be the site of Philip Orence's disappearance years later. Despite thorough searches of all the trails within the giant forest, not a single clue was found, leading searchers to believe that Barbara wasn't in that area. The search then shifted to Crescent Meadow. What perplexed the search teams was the complete absence of any sighting of Barbara after she received directions. Considering the well-traveled nature of the trails, it seemed highly unlikely that she could have vanished without anyone noticing her presence. This led to speculation that something unexpected must have occurred shortly after her last confirmed sighting. As the search continued, frustration grew among the search team. Animal predation was considered unlikely, as such incidents usually leave behind evidence. Likewise, there was no apparent indication of foul play. The search teams found it implausible that Barbara would have unintentionally strayed from the trail, given the immediate ruggedness of the terrain off the marked paths. This raised questions similar to those in Philip's case. Why would Barbara leave the trail, and what could have motivated her to venture into more hazardous terrain? After extensive and fruitless searching, the decision was made to restart the search from the beginning, focusing on the area within the 2-mile radius of Barbara's cabin. Despite a meticulous and comprehensive approach, retracing all previous efforts, the search again yielded no results. Barbara's disappearance remains an unsolved mystery, with no trace of her ever found. Barbara McGee's story is a reminder of the unpredictable nature of the wilderness and the importance of safety precautions and communicating your plans to friends or loved ones. Her case serves as a cautionary tale, highlighting the need for anyone venturing into remote and rugged terrains to have a solid plan for regular check-ins and communication. The disappearance of Barbara McGee, like many others in national parks, leaves a legacy of mystery and a reminder of the vast, untamed beauty and mysteries that these natural landscapes hold. The baffling disappearance of Mitchell Dale Sterling, a 51-year-old experienced hiker in Mesa Verde National Park, Colorado, is a case that has remained puzzling and unsolved. Mesa Verde, renowned for its rich history and archaeological significance, is home to over 5,000 ancient landmarks, including 600 cliff dwellings, watchtowers, and petroglyphs left behind by ancient people. The reasons for their abrupt departure from this region remain a topic of intrigue and speculation, much like the disappearance of Dale Sterling himself. In the summer of 2005, Dale, along with his wife and parents, traveled from Texas through Colorado. This trip, emblematic of their love for hiking and outdoor adventures, took an unexpected turn due to car troubles, leading them to Mesa Verde National Park. This unplanned visit occurred on a warm summer day with clear skies, offering perfect conditions for exploring the park. Upon reaching the park's visitor center around 4:30 p.m., Dale decided to venture out to see the Spruce Treehouse ruins, a notable archaeological site approximately 400 meters from the visitor center. Expecting a quick visit, Dale set off without water, underestimating the time that he would be away. The events following Dale's departure from the visitor center are cloaked in mystery. At a trail of intersection, one path led to Spruce Treehouse, while the other diverged to Petroglyph Point Trail. This trail, longer and more rugged, featured various cliff edges and steeper climbs, but was not typically considered dangerous. Despite its challenges, the Petroglyph Point Trail is a popular hiking route, particularly from March through November, known for its scenic views and historical significance. Dale was last seen on the Petroglyph Point Trail by a family who had a brief, pleasant interaction with him. This encounter confirmed that Dale had, unfortunately, taken the wrong trail. The Petroglyph Point Trail, while not extremely dangerous, does present certain risks, particularly for those unprepared or unaware of its length and terrain. The trail is generally considered moderately challenging and is a favorite among birders, hikers, and runners. Reviews of the trail often emphasize its ease of navigation and moderate difficulty, with rocky sections and undulating terrain. Given these descriptions, it's perplexing why Dale, an experienced hiker, did not return from the trail. When Dale failed to return to the visitor center, a search was initiated. Initial efforts were focused on the cliffs and trails in the vicinity, but no sign of Dale was found. Park spokeswoman Betty Lawrence stated that rescuers searched canyons and trails, but to no avail. Dale's disappearance prompted an immediate and extensive search operation, a rarity in missing person cases in national parks, where searchers often commence days or even weeks after the individual goes missing. In Dale's case, the search began within hours of his absence being noted, thanks in part to his family's prompt reporting and confirmed sighting on the Petroglyph Trail. The search teams, including professional rescue squads, were initially hopeful, given the confirmed sighting and the trail's well-marked nature. The general assumption was that Dale might have suffered an injury on the trail, rather than having left it voluntarily. The Petroglyph Trail's clear path and relative short length supported the expectation of finding him quickly. However, the search proved fruitless. Despite the efforts of foot patrols, dog teams, horseback searchers, and helicopters equipped with thermal imaging technology, no trace of Dale was found. The lack of any scent picked up by search dogs was particularly baffling, given the precise location of his last sighting. The mystery deepened with an account from a writer and hiker named Judy Peterson, who was in the park the day following Dale's disappearance. Peterson reported hearing a male voice calling for help during a hike, but received no response to her calls. She wisely chose not to venture off the trail, aware of the risks. When she reported this to the park rangers, they indicated that they had also heard a call for help in that area the previous day. This information, while potentially crucial, did not lead to Dale's discovery. The search for Dale continued for several years, with no significant leads or discoveries. In September of 2020, a breakthrough occurred when Dale's remains were found in a remote section of the park, based on an anonymous tip from a hiker. The remains were located quite a distance from where he was last seen, having traveled 4.2 miles off the trail. The discovery was made in an area that had been extensively searched years earlier, raising questions about how Dale was missing during the initial search efforts. The condition in which Dale's remains were found at the base of a lone tree in a ravine on Chapin Mesa suggested a tragic end to his journey in Mesa Verde National Park. The area, steeped in history and shrouded in mystery, had witnessed the rise and fall of ancient civilizations, and now bore witness to another unsolved mystery, the disappearance and death of Mitchell Dale Sterling. The circumstances surrounding his final moments remain unknown, a reminder of the unpredictability and inherent dangers of the wilderness. The disappearance of Julia Christine Devlin, a distinguished 55-year-old University of Virginia lecturer in Shenandoah National Park in July of 2021, is a deeply troubling and unresolved mystery. Julia was an esteemed figure in her academic field, holding a bachelor's degree in economics and a master's in Arab studies with economics from George Mason University. Her impressive academic journey also led her to the Brookings Institute, where she served as a non-resident senior fellow. Julia's last known whereabouts were captured on CCTV on July 14th of 2021 as she entered Shenandoah National Park in her white Lexus sedan. The park, renowned for its sprawling landscapes and natural beauty, would become the center of a perplexing investigation following her disappearance. Her failure to report to work and a sudden break in communication with her family members raised immediate alarms. The situation turned critical when, a few days after her last sighting, Julia's car was found in wrecked condition along Skyline Drive in the northern part of the Shenandoah Park. The positioning of the vehicle, suggesting it was headed towards a cliff face, indicated a serious accident, and an urgent search for Julia commenced. This intensive search operation was mobilized, with involvement from the Shenandoah National Park Service, the FBI, the MPS Investigative Services Branch, local law enforcement, search and rescue teams, and numerous volunteers. This collaborative effort saw the deployment of extensive land and air search resources, including specialized dog teams. The teams combed through the park, dedicating hundreds of man-hours in their quest to find Julia. Despite the exhaustive search efforts, it wasn't until 10 days after her disappearance that Julia's body was discovered in a remote, challenging area of the park, characterized by steep and rugged terrain. The location of her body, found only about 600 meters from her abandoned car, raised questions about the circumstances leading up to her death. Her remains were initially identified on site, with later confirmation by the Office of the Medical Examiner in Augusta County. Yet, the details regarding the cause of death, including whether there was any foul play, remained undisclosed by the authorities at the time of their reporting. The investigation into Julia's death continued, with no further comments made by the medical examiner's office or the other agencies involved. Julia's disappearance and the subsequent discovery of her body in such proximity to her car in the vast wilderness of Shenandoah National Park present a bewildering case. The lack of clear answers about what transpired during those crucial days in July adds a layer of uncertainty to the grief of this tragedy. The academic community, her colleagues, her loved ones were all left mourning the loss of a respected scholar and esteemed individual, while grappling with the unresolved questions surrounding her untimely demise. In June of 2017, the story of Mike Peterson, an avid and experienced hiker, unfolded in the wild expanse of Yellowstone National Park. His decision to embark on a solo hike in a familiar terrain was characteristic of his adventurous spirit and deep appreciation for the great outdoors. Mike, well prepared and attuned to the challenges of the wilderness, set off wearing an orange hunting vest, armed with bear spray, food, and a firearm, essentials for navigating the unpredictable wilderness of Yellowstone. Throughout his hike, Mike remained in contact with his girlfriend, Bonnie Singer, via text message. They had meticulously planned their day, with Bonnie set to pick him up at 6 p.m. They looked forward to an evening together in the serene setting of the park. However, this idyllic plan was abruptly interrupted when Mike failed to show up at the designated time. Bonnie, stationed at the agreed-upon location, waited anxiously, but Mike was nowhere to be seen. Her anxiety escalated into dread when, at 7:20 p.m., the quiet of the park was broken by the sound of 4 gunshots from the woods. Realizing the severity of the situation, Bonnie immediately notified the local sheriff's office, setting in motion a significant search and rescue operation that began at 10 p.m. The response to Mike's disappearance was swift and comprehensive. Over 40 individuals, including search and rescue experts, canine units, and helicopters, were mobilized to scour the park for any trace of him. However, their efforts were hampered by challenging weather conditions, including severe storms that intermittently grounded the helicopters, limiting their ability to search from the air. For 3 days, the search teams braved the rugged terrain of West Yellowstone, a landscape known for its stunning beauty, but also its inherent dangers. The searchers covered vast areas, combing through dense forests, steep ravines, and along the banks of rivers and creeks. Despite their exhaustive efforts, there was no sign of Mike. On the 3rd day of the search, the teams made a grim discovery. Mike's body was found in Beaver Creek, marking a tragic end to an extensive search. Compounding the mystery, Mike's orange vest and bear spray were located half a mile away from where his body was found. His pack and firearm were discovered at another separate location. The dispersal of his belongings across different areas hinted at an unusual and possibly frantic series of events leading up to his death. The lack of bear tracks near Mike's belongings and body discounted the possibility of a wildlife attack, leaving more questions than answers. The sheriff's office concluded that Mike might have tried to cross Beaver Creek when conditions were safe, but upon his return, found the creek transformed by snowmelt, resulting in a dangerous surge of water. They speculated that he was swept away by the sudden increase in water flow. However, this theory raised further questions. Why would Mike leave his essential survival gear scattered and not seek higher ground for cellular reception to inform Bonnie of his change in plans? Mike Peterson's story is a sobering reminder of the unpredictable nature of wilderness areas like West Yellowstone. It underscores the importance of preparedness, the necessity of constant vigilance, and the need for a well-thought-out plan, especially when embarking on solo adventures in such environments. His disappearance and untimely demise in the stunning yet unforgiving wilderness of Yellowstone leaves a lingering mystery and a lesson about the unforeseen dangers that even the most experienced hikers can face. Douglas, affectionately known as Dougie by his family, was bubbling with excitement for the upcoming summer vacation at their family's cabin nestled in the heart of the Adirondack Mountains. As his 9th birthday approached, Dougie was embracing a newfound state of independence, slowly shedding the image of a young child. His blonde hair, bright blue eyes, and a wide, beaming smile made him a particularly enduring figure. Despite a slight speech impediment, Dougie's enthusiasm and determination were undiminished, especially when it came to his adventures in the wilderness. Growing up visiting his family's cabin, he had developed a profound love for the natural world, earning him the affectionate nickname of Mini Woodsman from his family. The Adirondack Mountains, located in northeastern New York, are a rugged, forested wilderness known for their breathtaking beauty and challenging terrains. Among the notable features of this region are the Adirondack 46ers, a group of 46 peaks that rise above 4,000 feet in elevation, offering stunning vistas and challenging hikes for enthusiasts. It was against this backdrop of natural splendor that Dougie's family's cabin stood, a grand structure built in 1891 and part of a luxurious, sprawling compound encompassing nearly 13,000 acres. This compound, far from being a modest woodland retreat, boasted a staggering 40 buildings, including a grand 24-room main lodge and a fully operational model farm. Dougie's mother, May Melvin Legg, had an enduring connection to this idyllic preserve, having spent her own childhood summers exploring its vast expanses. She cherished the tradition of bringing Dougie to this special place every summer, sharing with him the joys of nature and the serenity of the forest. The summer of 1971 was no different. The extended family gathered at the compound, immersing themselves in the tranquility and beauty of the Adirondack wilderness. On July 10th, as the family settled into the rhythm of their vacation, Dougie's uncle set out for a hike through the well-trodden paths of the forest. Dougie, eager to demonstrate his growing independence and skills as a young woodsman, quickly joined his uncle on this excursion. The hike, however, was interrupted by an unexpected encounter with a large patch of poison ivy. Concerned for Dougie's safety, his uncle advised him to return to the campsite to change out of his shorts into pants. They were about a half a mile away from the camp at this point. Dougie turned back, embarking on the familiar, well-marked path to the campsite. Yet, in a turn of events that would forever haunt those who knew him, Dougie never made it back to the camp or to his uncle. The alarm was raised when Dougie failed to rejoin his uncle or appear at the campsite. A search party was hastily formed on the night of July 10th as temperatures ominously dipped into the low 40s. The initial search party, now swelled to 30 people including family, friends, and law enforcement, combed the area under the light of flashlights and lanterns, calling out for Dougie. But the night yielded no sign of him. In the days following Dougie's disappearance, the search efforts intensified. The local community rallied together with residents, college students, camp counselors, and employees of New York Conservation Department joining the search. The U.S. Air Force provided aerial support, scouring the vast wilderness from above. Bloodhounds were brought in, and infrared technology was used in the hopes of locating Dougie. Yet, despite these extensive search efforts, the boy remained missing. A glimmer of hope emerged when a bloodhound picked up a scent that led to a swampy pond. The pond was drained and meticulously searched, but no trace of Dougie was found. Later, sneaker tracks, believed to be Dougie's, were discovered near Ward Pond, 2 miles away from the campsite. However, a rainstorm swept through the area, erasing any further traces and hampering the tracking dog's efforts. In a move born of desperation and determination, Dougie's family enlisted the help of over 20 experienced mountain men from the California Sierra Madre Mountains, renowned for their tracking skills and wilderness expertise. This skilled team scoured the forests and mountains, but their efforts, too, proved fruitless. As weeks turned into months, the search gradually wound down. The community, once united in hopeful determination, now faced the grim reality of an unsolved mystery. The State Department, after 6 weeks of relentless searching, made the difficult decision to call off the official search operation. The lack of evidence and concrete leads left the case of Dougie's disappearance shrouded in mystery. There were many theories in the absence of tangible clues. Some speculated that Dougie had become lost in the dense forest and succumbed to the elements, while others whispered of possible foul play or an unfortunate encounter with local wildlife. However, these theories remained mere speculation in the face of inconclusive evidence. The police conducted thorough investigations, but found no reason to suspect any family members or residents within the community. The mystery deepened, leaving more questions than answers. As the time passed, the once vibrant and joyful family retreat became a somber reminder of this tragedy. The cabin, filled with memories of laughter and adventure, now stood as a monument to Dougie's inexplicable disappearance. The family, grappling with their loss and the haunting absence of closure, made the heart-wrenching decision to sell the property. It was transferred first to the Nature Conservancy and later to the State Forest Preserve, ensuring its preservation as a natural sanctuary. The once cherished family getaway was transformed into a symbol of childhood lost too soon. The impact of Dougie's disappearance resonated beyond his immediate family. leaving an indelible mark on the community and everyone involved in the search efforts. The locals, who had joined hands in a united effort to find the young boy, were left with a sense of collective grief and unresolved sorrow. Year after year, as anniversaries of the disappearance came and went, the mystery of what happened to Douglas Legg continued to perplex and sadden those who remember his case. The story became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the unpredictability and often harsh realities of nature. It also served as a testament to the strength and resilience of a community in the face of adversity. But most importantly, it remained a lingering question, an unsolved puzzle in the vast wilderness of the Adirondack Mountains. The mystery of Dougie's disappearance is not just a story of a missing child, but a narrative that underscores the deep bonds of family and enduring strength of community and the profound impact of one life, however brief, can have on so many. To this day, the tale of Douglas Legg is whispered among the trees of the Adirondacks, a ghostly reminder of a summer day that turned into a lifelong puzzle, a mystery that nature itself seems to have swallowed, leaving behind only memories and the external question of what happened to Dougie. The mysterious disappearance of Dr. Maurice "Doc" Demetz, who was last seen on April 29, 1981, in the Devil's Head area of Pike National Forest, is a complex case surrounded by numerous unanswered questions. Doc, then 75 years old, was an avid topaz hunter, a hobby he passionately pursued despite his advanced age and physical limitations due to arthritis and a blood disorder. On a fateful spring day, Doc and his friend, David McSherry, set out for a topaz hunting expedition in Pike National Forest. This sprawling forest, spanning over 1 million acres, is not only known for its stunning natural beauty and historical landmarks, but also for its rich deposits of minerals and gems, including topaz. Their destination, near the scenic Rampart Range Road, was a prime location for such an activity. The unpaved road, famous for its breathtaking views of the Rockies, was also the site of the Devil's Head Lookout Tower, a historic landmark and a significant point of interest in the region. Doc was appropriately dressed for the excursion, wearing a white baseball cap, a maroon plaid flannel shirt, brown ankle-high work boots, and blue overalls. Given his physical challenges, McSherry assisted him to the chosen spot for topaz hunting. After settling Doc in a comfortable spot, McSherry moved about 50 yards away to explore a different area. Upon returning, McSherry was met with an inexplicable scene. Doc had vanished along with his topaz hunting tools. The absence of struggle signs, disturbances in the dirt, or any indication of a wild animal attack only deepened this mystery. McSherry's immediate response was to search the area and check their vehicle, but there was still no trace of Doc. The search operation that was initiated by the Douglas County Sheriff's Office was extensive and involved search dogs, grid pattern searches, and numerous volunteers. Despite these concerted efforts, no evidence or clues were found. The search dogs, notably, were unable to pick up any scent, a fact that compounded the mystery of Doc's disappearance. The distress of Doc's wife, Myrtle, led her to write Governor Richard Lamb, expressing her fear that her husband might have met with foul play or had been forcibly taken from the area. She requested a more thorough investigation into his disappearance. However, no new leads or evidence emerged, and in 1990, Dr. Demetz was officially declared dead. The circumstances surrounding Doc's disappearance raised several questions. His physical limitations make it unlikely that he wandered off or covered significant ground unnoticed. The terrain's complexity and his health condition further diminished the possibility of him moving far from the spot where he was last seen. The simultaneous disappearance of his tools adds another layer of intrigue to this case. Speculation about what happened to Doc ranges widely. Theories include an accidental fall that left him hidden or incapacitated, an unexpected medical event, foul play, or even a deliberate disappearance. However, without concrete evidence, these theories remain just theories and speculative. The case of Dr. Maurice Doc Demetz stands as a reminder of the mysteries that nature can hold and the limitations of even extensive search and rescue efforts. The case of Doc, who vanished in 1981 during a topaz hunting trip in the Pike National Forest, serves as a solemn reminder of the unpredictable and often inscrutable nature of the wilderness. Doc's disappearance, shrouded in mystery, underscores several important lessons that are relevant today as they were 4 decades ago. Firstly, the case highlights the inherent risks associated with outdoor activities, especially in vast, rugged terrains like national forests. Even for experienced enthusiasts like Doc, the wilderness can present unforeseen challenges. This underscores the importance of safety measures, such as always informing others of your specific plans and staying within known, safe areas, particularly for individuals with physical limitations. Secondly, Doc's disappearance brings to light a vital role of comprehensive search and rescue operations. Despite the extensive efforts undertaken in this case, the lack of clues or evidence points to the complexity of such operations in expansive natural environments. It reminds us of the importance of continuous advancements in search and rescue techniques and technologies, including better tracking methods and more efficient coordination during searches. This case also touches on the emotional toll faced by families of those who go missing. Myrtle's plea for a more thorough investigation reflects the profound distress and lingering uncertainty that families endure. It's a stark reminder of the need for empathy, support, and ongoing communication with the families of the missing during such trying times. Moreover, Doc's case serves as a cautionary tale about speculations and theories that often arise in the absence of concrete evidence. While it's natural for the human mind to seek explanations, this case illustrates how speculation can range from plausible scenarios to far-fetched theories. It underscores the need for careful, evidence-based investigations and the avoidance of jumping to conclusions without solid proof. Lastly, the mystery surrounding Doc Demetz's disappearance reminds us of the fragility of life and the unpredictability of fate. It encourages us to appreciate our surroundings, take precautions, and cherish the moments we have, as the turn of events in life can often be unexpected and unexplained. While the mystery of Doc's disappearance remains unsolved, it continues to teach valuable lessons about safety, resilience, and the complexities of search and rescue operations. Also, emotional journeys of the families of the missing, and the importance of remaining grounded in evidence when confronted with the unknown. The mysterious disappearance of Gilbert Mark Gilman in 2006 is a story that intertwines elements of intrigue, expertise, and unsolved puzzles. Gilbert, a man with a background rich in military and intelligence experience, vanished under circumstances that defy easy explanation, leaving behind a trail of questions and theories. Born on November 26, 1958, Gilbert was 47 years old when he would vanish, seemingly without a trace, from Washington's Olympic National Park. His life up to that point was a tapestry of academic and professional achievements. He was a product of esteemed institutions like the London School of Economics, Union College in New York, and the Solvay Business School in Brussels. Beyond his academic achievements, Gilbert's career was marked by a distinguished tenure in the U.S. Army as a paratrooper. His service record spanned various global hotspots, Panama, East Africa, and Israel. In these regions, he wasn't just another soldier. He was part of the elite 82nd Airborne Division, a unit renowned for its bravery and skill, where he earned not 1, but 2 Bronze Stars. His military career extended into realms that few tread: counterterrorism and counterintelligence, areas where stakes are high and the margin for error is virtually non-existent. Gilbert was also a military interrogator in Iraq, a role that demanded the highest levels of mental acuity and resilience. In a testament to his adaptability and intelligence, he was fluent in Arabic, Russian, and Chinese, languages that are pivotal in intelligence operations. Gilbert's disappearance on June 24, 2006 was as perplexing as it was unexpected. That morning, he embarked on a journey to Olympic National Park, a place he knew like the back of his hand. His plan was simple: a casual walk on the Staircase Rapids Loop Trail, a familiar and easy-to-hike 2.1-mile route to take photographs. But what transpired next would turn this ordinary excursion into an enduring mystery. Later that day, Park Ranger Sinai Lustig encountered Gilbert in his silver Ford Thunderbird near the Staircase Ranger Station. They had a brief and seemingly mundane exchange about the loud music coming from his car. Little did she know, this exchange would be pivotal. Gilbert was never seen again after this encounter. When Gilbert failed to show up for a critical meeting in Spokane, Washington the following day, alarm bells rang. This absence was highly uncharacteristic for a man of Gilbert's discipline and professionalism. Sandy Matheson, the director of the State Department of Retirement Systems, where Gilbert worked, immediately reported him missing. The discovery of Gilbert's car at the Staircase Ranger Station a few days later triggered a massive search operation. For 10 days, 62 search and rescue professionals, equipped with the latest technology and aided by tracking dogs, scoured the area. They deployed a helicopter and a plane equipped with heat-seeking thermal imaging in a desperate attempt to locate any sign of Gilbert. But in a turn as baffling as his disappearance, the search yielded nothing. No trace of Gilbert was found, not even the slightest clue to hint at its fate. Park Ranger Michael Denisowish, who led the search operation, expressed the depths of their efforts and the frustration at the lack of results. They considered every possibility, every decision Gilbert might have made, every route he might have taken, but every theory led to a dead end. The circumstances of Gilbert's disappearance were a paradox. The trail was well marked and short. It seemed inconceivable that a man with Gilbert's extensive survival training could lose his way. The possibility of a health complication or an animal attack seemed equally unlikely, as no evidence supporting these scenarios was found. Theories about what happened to Gilbert abound, each more mysterious than the last. Some, including his mother Doris Gilman, speculated that he might have been recruited for government CIA activities, necessitating his disappearance. Another chilling theory linked his case to Israel Keyes, a known serial killer with a history of burying kill kits in national parks and choosing victims at random. Keyes' presence in the vicinity of the park around the time of Gilbert's disappearance lent some credence to this theory, but like the others, it remained unconfirmed. Gilbert's story remains a puzzling enigma. With no concrete evidence or clear leads, his fate is shrouded in mystery, leaving room for endless speculation and theories. His case is a haunting reminder of how quickly and mysteriously someone can vanish, leaving behind nothing but questions and a legacy of enduring mystery. Welcome to a universe of mystery, where we delve deep into the most bewildering and unexplained mysteries of our world. Today, we're exploring two perplexing cases that have baffled experts and intrigued mystery enthusiasts alike: the disappearances of Frederick Fritz Drum and Thomas Messick Sr. These stories, set against the backdrop of the enigmatic wilderness of upstate New York, converge in a narrative that challenges our understanding of the natural world. As we unravel the layers of these mysterious cases, we invite you to join us on this journey through the unknown. If you're captivated by these intriguing stories and want to stay updated with more mysteries from around the universe, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest explorations into the unexplained. And for those who are particularly moved by these mysteries and wish to support the channel further, consider using the Super Chat feature. Your contributions help us delve deeper into these mysteries and bring even more fascinating content to you. Every bit of support fuels our journey into the mysterious and the unknown. So let's embark on this adventure together and uncover the secrets that await us. The mysterious disappearance of Philip Taylor Kramer, once a prominent figure in the rock music scene as the bass guitarist for Iron Butterfly, evolved into one of the most perplexing and puzzling cases in recent history. His vanishing on February 12, 1995, followed by the grim discovery of his remains 4 years later in the desolate Malibu ravine, has fueled countless theories, ranging from the plausible to the outlandish, each struggling to make sense of the inexplicable events. Kramer's life before his disappearance was a study in contrasts. From the psychedelic highs of rock stardom with Iron Butterfly in the 1970s, he transitioned to the cerebral world of aerospace engineering, demonstrating remarkable intellectual prowess. His academic journey, characterized by top grades, led him to a significant position at Northrop, working on the MX missile guidance system as a Department of Defense contractor. This transition from the arts to the sciences was not just a career change. It was a transformation that later became a focal point in the mystery surrounding his disappearance. The day Kramer vanished, he was set to perform a seemingly mundane task, picking up a business associate and his wife from Los Angeles International Airport. However, this routine errand took a bizarre turn. After abruptly leaving the airport, Kramer initiated a series of mysterious and unsettling phone calls. He contacted his former bandmate, Ron Bushy, delivering the cryptic and haunting message, "I'll see you on the other side." His call to police was even more alarming, as he stated his intention to commit suicide and inexplicably connected his fate to O.J. Simpson's innocence. Kramer's disappearance led to a 4-year void filled with speculation and unanswered questions. The discovery of his remains in May of 1999 and his 1993 Ford Aerostar van, which lay at the bottom of Decker Canyon, added a chilling and perplexing chapter to this story. Decker Canyon, a remote and rugged area near Malibu, known for its dense vegetation and isolation, seemed almost tailor-made for concealing secrets. The discovery made by Walter Lockwood, a fitness instructor interested in old abandoned cars, revealed the van in a state of severe damage, suggesting a violent end. The mystery surrounding Kramer's case is multifaceted, encompassing his intellectual endeavors, his sudden behavioral changes, and the bizarre circumstances of his disappearance and death. A brilliant mind, Kramer was deeply immersed in the realms of theoretical physics and advanced mathematics, interests that veered toward the obsessive. His preoccupation with theories of intergalactic communication and transportation painted a picture of a man engrossed in ideas far beyond the ordinary. In the period leading up to his disappearance, Kramer was reportedly consumed with developing a secretive and potentially groundbreaking formula. This formula, believed by Kramer and his father, Ray Kramer, to have the capacity to overturn established physics, involved concepts of faster-than-light communication, an idea that defied the foundations of contemporary scientific understanding. Ray Kramer, himself a former engineering professor, added to the intrigue with claims of a universal equation capable of unraveling the universe's most profound mysteries, from black holes to quantum mechanics. Kramer's intense dedication to his work coincided with noticeable changes in his behavior. He spoke of being in imminent danger, expressed the need for heightened security, and shared cryptic insights about otherworldly phenomena. Conversations about supernovas, telepathic messages, and cryptic insights into other dimensions raised serious concerns about his psychological state. In the aftermath of his disappearance, numerous theories emerged to explain the unexplainable. Some hypothesized about mind control, while others thought that Kramer's advanced knowledge and discoveries made him a target for secretive agencies or foreign powers. His sister Kathleen openly doubted the identity of the remains found in the van, hinting at a more extensive conspiracy. Various investigators, colleagues, and friends reflected on the strange circumstances surrounding the case, while some suggested that Kramer had stumbled upon something significant and potentially dangerous. Despite the official conclusion of probable suicide, many aspects of Philip Taylor Kramer's disappearance and his death remain puzzling, shrouded in a cloud of mystery. His story, weaving together elements of rock history, advanced scientific exploration, and the eerie circumstances of his final hours, continue to captivate and baffle. The true narrative behind Kramer's tragic end remains a complex mystery of theories, each as unresolved as the next. In the remote and rugged landscape of Canada's Northwest Territories, a story unfolded in June of 2005 that would perplex and haunt the small community of Fort Simpson and beyond. David Horsey and Frederick Hardesty, two friends known for their inseparability and shared passion for the wilderness, embarked on what was supposed to be a serene retreat to a cabin about 70 miles northwest of Fort Simpson. Little did anyone know this journey would lead them into a puzzling situation, leaving more questions than answers and turning a peaceful getaway into a mystery. The cabin, nestled along the serene North Nahanni River, was their chosen sanctuary. It was in this isolated location that the story took a turn towards the inexplicable. When the cabin owner visited on June 12th to check on them, both men were reportedly in good spirits, enjoying the tranquility of their surroundings. However, when he returned 4 days later, David and Frederick had vanished without a trace. The cabin showed no signs of a hurried or forced departure. Their firearms were left behind, and there was an abundance of food and shelter. The scene painted a picture of calm, sharply contrasting with their sudden and unexplained absence. As word of their disappearance spread, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police launched an extensive search operation, employing thermal imaging and scouring the area around the North Nahanni River. Despite their efforts, the mystery only deepened. On June 28th, the CBC reported a grim development. David Horsey's body was discovered deep in the bush, over 2 miles from the cabin. The condition of his body was peculiar, intact, but with unexplained burns on his hands and arms. This discovery raised more questions than it answered. How did David end up so far from the cabin, and what caused these burns? The plot thickened 10 days later when Frederick's body was found, this time in the North Nahanni River, about 12 miles from the cabin. Like David, Frederick was found in an area that had been thoroughly searched. The fact that both men were found in locations that had been previously scoured by the search teams added a layer of intrigue. Were they placed there after the initial searches, or had they just been missed in the rugged and challenging terrain? The lack of evidence of foul play further complicated the case. However, family members and members of the search party painted a different picture of the cabin scene. Contrary to the initial claims, they described a scene of chaos, firearms discharged seemingly in a panic, with one shot leaving a hole in the floor. This revelation contradicted the police's statements of no apparent problems at the cabin and suggested a scenario of fear or confrontation. In 2018, family members called for the case to be reopened, expressing dissatisfaction with the initial investigation. They questioned the thoroughness of the police work and sought answers for the many lingering questions. The official causes of death were hypothermia for David and drowning for Frederick. This did little to clarify the circumstances leading to their demise. This story, shrouded in mystery, leaves us grappling with numerous unanswered questions. What transpired in the cabin that led to such a chaotic scene? Why did the men leave the safety and supplies of the cabin? What led to David's burns, and why were both bodies found in areas that had been previously searched? The possibility of a third party's involvement, the nature of the threat they faced, and the reasons behind their separation are all aspects that remain in the realm of speculation. The mysterious disappearances and subsequent deaths of David Horsey and Frederick Hardesty in the Northwest Territories of Canada present a haunting puzzle. With no clear answers and only fragments of information, their story remains an unsolved mystery, a reminder of the unpredictability of the wilderness and the enduring puzzles and mysteries that can arise from its depths. In the serene yet mysterious setting of the North Cascades National Park, a perplexing case unfolded that continues to confound investigators and the public alike. The story began at the Colonial Creek Campground, where National Park Service rangers reported a vehicle, a Honda Element, that had remained parked in the area for several weeks. This vehicle belonged to Richie Collins, a 58-year-old father and a veteran with 23 years of military service, including experience in Border and Customs Patrol. Richie, standing at 6'1" and weighing around 275 pounds, was not known for his outdoor pursuits like camping or hiking. He had health concerns, including high blood pressure and a bad knee, making the location of this vehicle in such a remote area even more puzzling. The vehicle, with the keys left on the roof, showed no signs of having been tampered with, and a map of the Cascade Mountains lay open on the passenger seat, a silent witness to an untold plan or journey. The search for Richie was extensive. Brittany Collins, Richie's daughter, reported that the Rangers conducted a thorough search within a 7-mile radius of the vehicle, employing cadaver canine units. The Colonial Creek campground, known for its deep reservoir, was even dredged in the hunt for any sign of Collins, but the search yielded no results. The mystery deepened upon the discovery of Richie's apartment. Over 35 weapons from his large firearm collection were missing, yet the gun cases were left behind in disarray, suggesting a ransacking. Further oddities in the apartment included bleach left on the counter and a crammed dishwasher, indicating a hasty or disturbed departure. Richie's daughter suspected that his collection had been stolen and his car abandoned in the area by the perpetrator or perpetrators. Randy, Rich's brother, was the one that found the apartment in complete disarray, which was highly uncharacteristic of Richie, known for his meticulous nature. Additionally, Richie's computer was missing, adding another layer of intrigue to the case. Reports on Richie's last sighting were conflicting, with some placing him leaving his home with a small book bag in early March or late April. There was evidence suggesting that his gun safe had been pried open, though detectives theorized that this might have been done by Collins himself. In a turn of events, the professional estate manager and trustee who took over Richie's property swiftly sold off all his belongings and his home, effectively halting any potential for future private investigations. The case took a grim turn on July 6th when children discovered partial remains near the Colonial Creek campground in the North Cascades, about 5 miles from the parking lot at Diablo Lake where Richie's car was found. Among the remains, some of Collins's belongings were identified, but notably his head was missing. The state of these remains and the missing head added a chilling aspect to an already mysterious case. Collins's case bears eerie resemblances to other disappearances in the area. His physical condition and lack of outdoor experience made an extensive hike in the rugged terrain highly unlikely. Furthermore, his neighbors reported last seeing him in the middle of April, adding to the timeline confusion. The North Cascades, particularly around Diablo Lake, has been the site of other unsettling disappearances. For instance, in October of 2020, Alexander Pitch vanished after setting up an easel to paint a landscape near the lake. His remains have never been found. The area around Collins's abandoned vehicle was thoroughly searched by rescue teams, yet no trail or sign of him was found. The cadaver dogs that were also deployed in the search failed to pick up any scent of Collins. The lack of any concrete leads or evidence in this search leaves many questions unanswered. The case of Richie Collins not only underscores the unpredictability of wilderness areas, but also teaches us several crucial lessons. It highlights the importance of leaving detailed plans and informing others when venturing into remote locations, regardless of one's experience. The case also serves as a reminder of the critical role of timely and thorough investigations in missing person cases, especially when unusual circumstances are evident. Additionally, it underscores the value of preserving personal property and belongings during investigations, as they might hold key evidence or insights. For family members and friends of individuals who go missing, this case exemplifies the importance of advocacy and persistence in seeking answers and ensuring a comprehensive investigation. As we reflect on the mysterious disappearance and tragic fate of Richie Collins, we are reminded of the need for caution, preparedness, and the importance of community awareness in the face of such unexplained mysteries. The disappearance of Tom Simon Seth, a 66-year-old man from Mount Vernon, unfolded into a profound mystery in the rugged wilderness of the North Cascades. Simon Seth, described by his friends as athletic and well acquainted with the outdoors, had embraced hiking as a retirement pursuit, inspired by two close friends. His familiarity with the Hidden Lake Trail was well established, and he had attempted the trail multiple times, but was often deterred by snow. On May 22nd, Simon set out to conquer the Hidden Lake Trail once again. He informed his wife of his plans, promising to return by 7 p.m. that night. During his hike, he encountered 2 other hikers who had decided to turn back due to worsening conditions further up the trail. It is speculated that Simon Seth may have followed their footprints, choosing to turn back as the snow conditions deteriorated. When Simon Seth failed to return home, his wife reported him missing. 2 of his friends, both experienced in mountaineering and with over 20 years of search and rescue experience, immediately began searching for him. Knowing that Simon Seth was ill-equipped to survive a night in the harsh conditions, they rushed to the trailhead, finding his car still parked there. They searched tirelessly until midnight and resumed at first light of the next dawn. The search for Simon Seth quickly escalated, with search and rescue teams from multiple jurisdictions joining the effort. The U.S. Border Patrol and the Navy also participated, while helicopters from Spokane County surveyed the area from above. Ground teams meticulously combed the challenging terrain, looking for any sign of an avalanche or tree wells where Simon Seth might have been caught. The search efforts, however, were hampered by snow and reduced visibility, presenting significant challenges to the rescue teams. Despite these obstacles, the search continued for several days. On July 29th of 2021, a major development occurrid when the Snohomish County Sheriff's helicopter team recovered remains believed to be those of Simon Seth. However, formal identification was still pending at the time. The case of Tom Simon Seth, marked by its suddenness and challenging conditions of the terrain, is a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of the wilderness. His disappearance shortly after encountering other hikers and in the vicinity of where others had vanished added to the complexity and tragedy of the situation. The search efforts, although extensive and involving multiple agencies, were fraught with natural obstacles, highlighting the difficulties faced in wilderness search and rescue operations. This story is an example of the inherent risks in outdoor activities, even for those experienced and familiar with the environments. It underscores the importance of preparation, the unpredictable nature of mountain weather, and the need for caution when venturing into such areas. Tom's disappearance and the subsequent search efforts serve as a reminder of how quickly situations can change in the wilderness and the crucial importance of safety and preparedness in outdoor adventures. Nestled in the dense forests of southwest Vermont lies a geographical area shrouded in puzzles and mystery. Known as the Bennington Triangle, this region, akin to the more famous Bermuda Triangle, has been the center of an array of unexplained disappearances and bizarre occurrences. The term was coined by author Joseph A. Citro during a radio broadcast in the 1990s, but the stories and legends date back much further, weaving a tapestry of folklore, unexplained phenomena, and a palpable sense of the unknown. The core of the Bennington Triangle's mystery revolves around a series of strange disappearances that occurred between 1945 and 1950. These cases weren't just typical missing persons incidents. They were laced with peculiarities that defied logical explanations. The vanishings occurred in a similar manner, people disappearing without a trace, often in broad daylight and in areas that they were familiar with. The lack of substantial clues or any trace of the missing persons left the local community and investigators baffled and uneasy. Beyond the disappearances, the Bennington Triangle holds a rich history steeped in Native American folklore and colonial tales. The Native Americans considered this land cursed and avoided it, citing mysterious lights and other unexplained phenomena. Early settlers reported bizarre sightings and inexplicable events, adding layers to the area's eerie reputation. The Glastonbury Mountain, a key feature within the triangle, is often cited as a focal point for these strange occurrences. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of the Bennington Triangle, we will explore the various elements that contribute to its enigmatic aura. From the perplexing disappearances to the ancient lore surrounding the land, every aspect offers a piece to the puzzle. The Bennington Triangle beckons with its unanswered questions and hidden secrets, inviting us on a journey through the shadows of the unknown. James Tedford, a veteran of World War I, had lived through tumultuous times. His decision to re-enlist for service in World War II, despite his advancing years, was a testament to his patriotism and sense of duty. During his absence, his wife, Pearl Tedford, remained in their Vermont home, awaiting his return. The couple, despite their significant age difference, were known to have a harmonious and loving relationship, making the events that followed all the more baffling. Upon returning from war, James anticipated a peaceful reunion with Pearl. However, he was confronted with a bewildering scene. His house was as he left it, with a meal prepared for him, but his wife was missing. Pearl's personal items, her clothing, and essentials were undisturbed, indicating no sign of a planned or hurried departure. The abrupt and unexplained disappearance of Pearl left James in a state of shock and despair. The local community, small and closely knit, mobilized efforts to find Pearl. They searched the nearby areas, questioned locals, but to no avail. The only clue was a neighbor's sighting of Pearl heading to the local store on the day that she vanished. After her grocery shopping, she seemed to have disappeared without a trace. Theories circulated, some speculating she might have left on her own, but those close to the couple dismissed these ideas, citing the couple's apparent happiness and lack of conflict. James's life was deeply affected by Pearl's disappearance. He withdrew from community life, his demeanor changing drastically from an engaging man people knew to someone who was deeply introspective and melancholic. Friends described him as someone who had retreated into a shell, often found in a trance-like state, gazing at nothing in particular for hours. In 1947, struggling with his mental health and unable to cope with his loneliness and unanswered questions, James decided to move home to Bennington. His hope for a change in environment and perhaps some solace did not materialize. He remained a solitary figure, often aloof, spending days in quiet contemplation, haunted by the absence of his wife. Despite his reclusive nature, James occasionally visited family in St. Albans, Vermont. These visits required him to travel by bus along Route 7, a journey that took him through the heart of the Bennington Triangle. This area, already gaining a reputation for mysterious occurrences, would soon add James Tedford to its list of inexplicable events. In December 1949, James made one such trip to St. Albans. His visit with family was uneventful, but the return journey would become a focal point of the Triangle's strange history. James boarded the bus for the return trip to Bennington, a journey familiar to him and one he had made without incident many times in the past. The bus, carrying about 15 other passengers, followed its local route, with no reported stops or incidents. But as the bus approached its final destination in Bennington, a startling discovery was made. Passengers began to disembark, but James Tedford was nowhere to be seen. His belongings, a suitcase, wallet, cash, and a bus itinerary, lay on his seat, as if he had just stepped away. However, none of the other passengers, nor the bus driver, recalled seeing James leave the bus. There were no signs of disturbance, no noise or struggle that would have suggested an unusual exit. The seat that had been occupied by James was now hauntingly empty, with no trace of him. The mystery of James Tedford's disappearance set ripples of concern and bewilderment through the community. This was not just another missing person case. It was a disappearance that happened in plain sight, under seemingly impossible circumstances. Theories proliferated, some proposing otherworldly explanations like portals or supernatural forces at play in the Bennington Triangle. Others pondered more earthly explanations, though none could be substantiated. The case of James Tedford, like that of his wife Pearl and others who vanished in the Bennington Triangle, remains one of the most puzzling and unresolved mysteries in the history of Vermont. Their stories, shrouded in uncertainty and speculation, continue to fascinate and puzzle investigators, researchers, and those with an interest in the unexplained. The Bennington Triangle, with its legacy of mysterious disappearances, remains a haunting and inexplicable chapter in American folklore. In 2008, a fascinating and unsettling incident occurred in the infamous Bennington Triangle, involving a 27-year-old Bennington College student named Robert Singley. Robert, a dedicated hiker with a passion for music, was pursuing his PhD in music composition. Seeking inspiration for his string quartet piece, he decided to immerse himself in the natural beauty of the Bennington Triangle. Little did he know, his journey would add a curious chapter to the area's mysterious history. On that fateful day of September 28, 2008, Robert embarked on a solo hike in the same region that had claimed several other unexplained disappearances. Equipped for the rugged terrain, he wore heavy boots, long shorts, a long-sleeved shirt, a wool sweater, a rain jacket, a winter hat, and mittens. Despite his experience as a hiker, he chose not to bring any navigational tools like a compass, GPS, or map. He did, however, carry a headlamp, anticipating a return before nightfall. Starting his hike around noon from Harbor Road in Woodford Hollow, Robert's path led him to the summit of Bald Mountain. After enjoying a lunch with a view, he ventured a short distance north towards Glastonbury, then west towards the White Rocks, before turning east to head back towards his car. After walking about 4 to 5 miles, a disconcerting realization struck him. He was lost. The trail he thought would lead him back to his car seemed to betray him, leading him further into uncertainty. As the day progressed, the environment around Robert underwent a dramatic and eerie transformation. He described an intense, dizzying confusion, like a crescendo of disorientation, culminating in sudden darkness surrounded by dense, disorienting fog. This bewildering experience led Robert to speculate that he might have unwittingly crossed into a time-space anomaly, a theory that aligns with speculations of paranormal energy vortexes thought to exist in the Bennington Triangle. Nightfall brought new challenges. To Robert's dismay, his headlamp malfunctioned, leaving him in near total darkness as rain began to fall. Faced with the imminent threat of hypothermia, he realized he had to stay put and endure the night. Seeking shelter, he found solace under a maple tree, which he described as emanating a strange, almost supernatural energy. The cold and rain made rest nearly impossible, turning his wait for dawn into a test of endurance and will. Back in civilization, Robert's prolonged absence raised alarms. His worried girlfriend contacted the authorities, prompting a search. The police located his car abandoned at the trailhead. An initial search attempt was made, but the team faced near impossible conditions due to the thick fog and impenetrable darkness of the night. In a desperate bid for warmth and visibility, Robert scoured his surroundings for dry tinder. His search yielded large animal bones and eventually small pieces of dry birchwood. With matches and paper from his bag, he managed to ignite a life-saving fire. As dawn broke, Robert attempted to retrace his steps. He wandered 3 to 4 miles before encountering a sign for the Goddard shelter near the peak of Glastonbury Mountain. This discovery confounded him. He believed he had camped only a quarter mile from his car, but had somehow ended up on the opposite side of the ridge, 6 or 7 miles away from his intended location. His return journey was equally mystifying. Passing the maple tree where he had spent the night, the trail seemed unfamiliar, with different-looking pines and downed trees that he had not recalled from the previous trek. Fortunately, the Vermont State Police, along with a tracking dog, resumed their search and eventually located Robert around 11:30 a.m. He was found cold, exhausted, hungry, and psychologically shaken, but crucially, he was alive. Robert Singley's harrowing experience in 2008 is compelling in addition to the lore of the Bennington Triangle. His survival and first-hand account contribute to an ongoing discussion about the area's mysterious attributes, including theories of energy vortexes, dimensional shifts, and other paranormal phenomena. The Bennington Triangle, with its legacy of strange occurrences and unexplained disappearances, remains a source of fascination and speculation. This region, steeped in mystery, continues to challenge our understanding of the natural world and the boundaries of scientific explanation. In the dense, shadow-covered forest of the Bennington Triangle, the disappearance of Martha Jones on November 6, 1950, added a profound puzzle to an area already cloaked in mystery. The sudden vanishing of Martha, a young and vivacious local, sent a wave of unease through her family and the community, raising questions that would echo unanswered throughout the years. Martha's parents, grappling with her unexpected absence, initially clung to the belief that she had eloped with her boyfriend. This theory, however, crumbled when he confirmed he had not seen Martha, deepening the mystery and sparking a widespread search. The woods of Glastonbury, dense and whispering with the secrets of ages, were combed meticulously by search parties, but their efforts were met with silence. No trace of Martha was ever found. Less than a month after Martha's disappearance, on December 3rd, the community's fears were reignited when Frances Chrisman also went missing. Frances had set off on a seemingly innocuous journey to visit a friend just a half a mile away, a journey she never completed. Her disappearance mirrored Martha's in the suddenness and the lack of any clues left behind. Authorities organized another extensive search, but like Martha's, it concluded with more questions than answers. As the years passed, theories abound in an attempt to explain the mysterious vanishings within the Bennington Triangle. Some speculated about the presence of a malevolent person or group hidden in the wilderness, preying on unsuspecting victims. Others, including author Joseph Citro, considered the possibility of an unusual, perhaps paranormal energy in the Bennington Triangle, influencing these disappearances. Intertwined with these modern speculations were folklore of Native Americans, long associated with the land that comprises the Bennington Triangle. The area was believed to be cursed by local Native American tribes who spoke of a sinister, otherworldly force residing within the land. Legends told of a malevolent rock hidden among the dense terrain that had the power to draw in and consume anyone who ventured too close. These tales spoke of the rock as a living entity, a guardian of the land's secrets, and a devourer of the unwary. Further adding to the intrigue were accounts from individuals who had spent time in the Glastonbury area. They spoke of a special quality to the forest, a sense of being watched, and an eerie quiet that seemed unnatural. Stories emerged of reclusive individuals living off the grid in the mountains, some in rudimentary shelters, others in intricate snow houses. These mountain dwellers, as elusive as shadows, were said to traverse the wilderness with a knowledge and ease that echoed their hermit-like existence. Among these hermits were two brothers, known to occasionally descend from their mountain abode to mingle with the locals and restock supplies. They shared cryptic warnings about other, more reclusive and potentially dangerous individuals who inhabited the deeper, less traveled parts of the forest. These mysterious figures, according to the brothers, would make themselves known only if they wished to be, adding a layer of apprehension to any venture into the wilderness. In this landscape of natural beauty and ancient mystery, the stories of Martha Jones and Frances Chrisman remain etched as haunting reminders of the unknown. The Bennington Triangle, with its blend of rugged wilderness, human intrigue, and whispered legends of ancient curses and supernatural forces, continues to captivate and mystify. The land, steeped in the lore of Native American tribes and the unexplained vanishing of modern times, holds its secrets close, a timeless puzzle nestled in the heart of the Vermont woods. On October 28, 1950, a mystifying incident unfolded in the Bennington Triangle, adding to its already perplexing history of disappearances. Frida Langer, a 53-year-old woman from North Adams, Massachusetts, vanished under mysterious circumstances. Frida, along with her cousin Herbert Elsner and her husband, 58-year-old Max Langer, had set up camp near Somerset Reservoir for a hunting trip, a trip that would soon turn into a baffling mystery. On that fateful day, Frida and her cousin Herbert decided to embark on a hike, a mere few hundred yards from their campsite. Tragedy struck when Frida slipped and fell into a nearby stream, soaking her clothes. Given their proximity to the camp, less than a quarter-mile away, Frida chose to return alone to change into dry clothes, asking Herbert to wait for her on the trail. Herbert watched as she ran off towards the campsite, expecting her prompt return. However, Frida never returned. Concerned, Herbert made his way back to the campsite, where Max informed him that Frida had not returned. Alarmed by her unexplained absence, they quickly raised the alarm with the authorities. The ensuing search was extensive. 2 helicopters and a plane from the Westover, Massachusetts Air Force Base were called in, and the plane even landed on the Somerset Reservoir to facilitate a shoreline search. 50 men, including state troopers and game wardens, combed the area until nightfall, and the search continued into the next morning. There was a growing fear that Frida might have fallen into the reservoir, which was only 150 feet from their camp. Max Langer, desperate for answers, offered a reward of $100, equivalent to about $1,233 in today's currency, for any information leading to Frida, dead or alive. Despite the continued searches and heightened efforts, no sign of Frida was initially found. Approximately 6 months later, on May 12th of 1951, Frida's fate came to light in a disturbing discovery. 2 fishermen stumbled upon her body on the banks of the Somerset Reservoir, just above the flood dam. Her remains were found near the start of the East Branch Deerfield River, about 3.5 miles from her campsite. What made the discovery particularly eerie was that this area had been searched multiple times by authorities, with no previous indication of her body. The condition of Frida's body, severely decomposed, obscured the cause of death. While one source mentioned that a doctor at the scene suggested accidental drowning, no autopsy was performed to confirm this. The state's attorney accepted the doctor's assessment without further inquiry. The lack of a thorough investigation left many questions unanswered, particularly about what Frida did in the time between her disappearance and the discovery of her body. Theories about Frida's fate range from the plausible to the outlandish. Some speculated she might have wandered further than anticipated and accidentally drowned. Others, however, found the circumstances too strange to accept such a straightforward explanation. Questions were raised about Herbert's role and his account of events, fueling speculation and conjecture. Frida's disappearance and subsequent death remains one of the most intriguing cases in the Bennington Triangle's history. It encapsulates the area's reputation for mysterious, unexplained occurrences that defy conventional explanation. Frida's story is a haunting reminder of the unpredictability and potential dangers of the wilderness, as well as the enduring enigma of the Bennington Triangle. In 1950, the Bennington Triangle was the site of yet another disturbing disappearance, this time involving an 8-year-old boy named Paul Jepson. Paul's vanishing added to the series of mysterious occurrences in this area, each marked by its own peculiar circumstances and unanswered questions. The incident unfolded when Paul's mother, who had attended to feeding their pigs, made the fateful decision to leave him unattended near her truck in a wooded area. This location was ominously close to where Paula Jean Weldon, another victim in the series of strange disappearances in the Bennington Triangle, was last seen. When Paul's mother returned, approximately an hour later, Paul had vanished without a trace, setting off a series of speculations and investigations. Paul's disappearance, like others in the Bennington Triangle, was shrouded in mystery and gave rise to numerous theories. One particularly grim theory suggested that Paul's mother was responsible for his death and had possibly fed him to the pigs. This theory, while lacking concrete evidence, stemmed from the dubious circumstances under which Paul was left alone. Despite these suspicions, no arrests were ever made, and the theory remained unproven. Another theory speculated that Paul, being a young and curious child, may have wandered off, potentially falling victim to an injury, and subsequently to the predatory wildlife in the region. The dense forests of the Bennington Triangle are known to be home to various wild animals, raising the possibility that Paul could have encountered a fatal animal attack. Adding complexity to the case, some believe that Paul was abducted. This theory gained some traction due to the findings of a search involving bloodhounds. The dogs were able to track Paul's scent, but stopped abruptly right at the edge of a highway, suggesting that Paul might have been picked up by a vehicle. Paul Jepson's disappearance remains one of the most puzzling cases associated with the Bennington Triangle. His story, marked by the tragedy of a young life lost and the mystery of his fate, continues to haunt the area. The theories surrounding his disappearance, whether it was a result of wildlife, foul play, or an abduction, contribute to the lore of the Bennington Triangle, a place where the line between the natural and the supernatural blurs, and where mysteries remain unsolved, shrouded in the dense mists of its forests. Now we'll delve into the mystifying disappearance of Paula Jean Weldon, an 18-year-old art student at Bennington College in Vermont. Her case, which has remained unsolved for decades, is a perplexing puzzle that has intrigued both investigators and those fascinated by unsolved mysteries. Paula lived in Stamford, Connecticut, with her family when not at school. Known for her artistic talent and love for the outdoors, she was a multifaceted personality, deeply involved in various artistic mediums, and an avid guitar player. Her interests spanned across art and botany, reflecting her diverse passions. The mystery began unfolding in the winter of 1946. On December 1st, Paula finished her shifts at the university's dining hall and decided to embark on a hiking trip. This decision would mark the start of a mystery that still lingers today. She was last seen leaving her dorm at Dewey Hall when she briefly discussed her hiking plans with her roommate. Despite being dressed for the day's weather, Paula's preparations for the hike were minimal. Notably, she left behind most of her money, including a check from her parents, and set off without necessary hiking gear like extra clothing or a backpack. Around 2:30 p.m., Paula left the campus. She was seen hitchhiking and was picked up by Louis Knapp, a local contractor. She informed him that her destination was the Long Trail off Route 6 near Glastonbury Mountain. Knapp dropped her off about 2.5 miles from the start of the trail. The last confirmed sighting of Paula was at approximately 4 p.m. when she interacted with a group of hikers. She asked them about the length of the trail, learning that it stretched all the way to Canada. After this conversation, she continued her journey northward, venturing into the densely wooded area as dusk set in. Paula's disappearance became apparent when she failed to return. Initially, her roommate thought she had gone to study post-hike, but as hours turned into a night without Paula's return, concern grew. The university was notified, but there was a delay in informing Paula's family, losing critical early hours in the search for her. What followed was a massive search operation involving students, volunteers, National Guard troops, firefighters, and extensive ground and aerial searches. Despite combing through the Long Trail and its surrounding areas, no trace of Paula was found. The investigation faced challenges due to the absence of a state police force in Vermont at the time. It was only after Paula's father, an influential industrial engineer, exerted pressure on the authorities that more resources were allocated to the investigation. Investigators, including Dorothy Scoville and Robert Rundle, interviewed numerous witnesses and locals, trying to piece together the last known movements of Paula. Adding to the mystery is this case's connection to the Bennington Triangle, a term coined by author Joseph A. Citro. This area, in southwest Vermont, known for a series of unexplained disappearances between 1945 and 1950, includes Paula's disappearance as one of its most prominent. The mystery of Paula's disappearance remains unsolved. If alive, she would be 94 years old today. Her case stands as a reminder of the limitations of mid-20th century investigative techniques and continues to captivate those interested in the mysteries of our world. The perplexing case of Paula Jean Weldon, who vanished in 1946 while hiking in Vermont, serves as a reminder of the mysteries that still exist in our world. Her disappearance, which has remained unsolved for decades, highlights several key lessons. It reminds us of the unpredictability and potential dangers of the wilderness, even for those familiar with local trails. Paula's case underscores the importance of preparation and caution when embarking on outdoor activities, especially in isolated areas. Additionally, her story brings to light the challenges of search and rescue efforts in an era before advanced technology and GPS tracking. It also illustrates the enduring pain faced by families of missing persons, a heartache that lasts long after the initial search efforts have faded. Paula's case, shrouded in speculation and mystery, also teaches us the value of evidence-based investigation and the dangers of conjecture without solid proof. It is a testament to the fact that, despite advances in technology and forensics, some mysteries remain unsolved, leaving us with more questions than answers. Paula Jean Weldon's disappearance is a somber narrative that continues to resonate with us, reminding us of our vulnerabilities and the profound mystery that our world still holds. As we explore this and other mysteries, we invite you to share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. The Disappearances of Frederick Fritz Drum and Thomas Messick Sr. These stories, set against the backdrop of the enigmatic wilderness of upstate New York, converge in a narrative that challenges our understanding of the natural world. As we unravel the layers of these mysterious cases, we invite you to join us on this journey through the unknown. If you're captivated by these intriguing stories and want to stay updated with more mysteries from around the universe, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest explorations into the unexplained. And for those who are particularly moved by these mysteries and wish to support the channel further, consider using the Super Chat feature. Your contributions help us delve deeper into these mysteries and bring even more fascinating content to you. Every bit of support fuels our journey into the mysterious and the unknown. So let's embark on this adventure together and uncover the secrets that await us. In the vast, untamed wilderness of upstate New York, where nature's beauty intertwines with the unknown, lie two stories, both profoundly mysterious and eerily similar. These are the tales of Frederick Fritz Drum and Thomas Messick Sr., two men whose disappearances from familiar terrains defy easy explanation and challenge our understanding of the natural world. Their stories, seemingly separate, converge in a narrative that is as baffling as it is intriguing, set against the backdrop of a region steeped in enigma and mystery. The parallels between the two cases are striking and unsettling. Both men were experienced in outdoor survival, well acquainted with their surroundings, and held in high regard by their respective communities. Their sudden and unexplained vanishings from areas they knew well add a perplexing layer to their stories. The lack of any evidence or clues in such thoroughly searched areas deepen the mystery. What's more, these disappearances occurred in a region that borders the infamous Bennington Triangle, an area notorious for a series of unexplained vanishings. This geographical connection weaves a thread of intrigue and speculation, suggesting a possible link to the larger mysteries of the triangle and the puzzles that are often associated with it. As we delve into these two stories, we are drawn into a world where the line between the known and unknown is blurred. Their tales are not just isolated incidents. They are a part of a larger, more complex puzzle that challenges our perception of reality and the mysteries that lie hidden in the wilderness. Through the convergence of these two stories, we embark on a journey to explore the depths of these mysteries, seeking answers that remain just out of reach. It was a crisp November morning in 2015 when 82-year-old Thomas Messick Sr., an adept and respected woodsman, ventured into the dense forests of Horicon, New York, near Bryant Lake. This area, cloaked in the rich hues of autumn, was familiar territory for Thomas, who had spent countless seasons navigating its rugged terrain. His planned activity was deer hunting, a ritual he had engaged in annually with a blend of passion and expertise. Yet this year, the forest held a different fate for him, one shrouded in mystery and unanswered questions. Thomas wasn't just an ordinary hunter. His profound knowledge of the wilderness was augmented by years of experience, making him more than adept at navigating and surviving in the wild. His wisdom in these areas was not only practiced, but also taught to others, showcasing his deep understanding of forest survival. On that fateful day, Thomas was part of a group of 7, a mix of friends and family, all united by their love for hunting. They congregated near Lily Pond, a tranquil body of water that served as their chosen hunting ground. Their strategy was a classic deer drive, a technique requiring coordination and teamwork. The group was divided into 2. The drivers, tasked with stirring the deer from their hiding spots, and the watchers, positioned strategically to capitalize on the fleeing game. Thomas, along with 3 elder members of the party, assumed the role of the watchers. They positioned themselves in a linear formation, maintaining a distance of less than 100 yards from each other. This careful positioning was meant to ensure visibility and communication within the group, an essential aspect of the hunt. As the day progressed, the drivers moved through the forest, pushing the deer towards the watchers. However, they were met with an eerie silence, an unusual stillness that seemed to have engulfed the forest. The natural chorus of wildlife sounds was conspicuously absent, creating an unsettling atmosphere. Upon reaching the location where Thomas was supposed to be, a wave of confusion and concern washed over the group. Thomas was nowhere in sight. His absence was alarming, especially considering his extensive background in wilderness survival. The immediate vicinity offered no clues. His rifle and walkie-talkie, essential tools for communication and protection, were missing as well. The group initiated a search, scouring the area for any sign of Thomas, but to no avail. As the daylight waned, they contacted the forest rangers, sparking the beginning of a large-scale search operation. The operation stretched into the evening, with part of the group staying behind overnight to make noise in hopes of guiding Thomas back. The search for Thomas Messick Sr. quickly escalated into an extensive and thorough operation. Starting the next day, a team of 13 trained rescue professionals from the Park Service joined the effort. This was only the beginning of a search that would grow to involve over 300 individuals, including professionals and volunteers. They were equipped with an arsenal of search tools, dogs, divers, helicopters, all scouring an area spanning over 4 square miles. Even with such an extensive effort, no evidence or trace of Thomas was uncovered. The involvement of the FBI's Critical Incident Response Group in the search added an element of intrigue. The FBI's presence was unusual, given their standard protocols for missing person cases. Their secretive approach and lack of transparent communication fueled speculation and rumors about the nature of their interest in this case. As days turned into weeks, the mystery only deepened. The lack of any trace of Thomas, coupled with his survival skills and the proximity of his last known location to the rest of the group, made his disappearance all the more perplexing. The area was extensively combed, yet it seemed as if Thomas had just vanished into thin air. Theories were proposed, yet none provided a satisfactory explanation. Was it a sudden medical emergency, an unexpected encounter with wildlife, or something more sinister? The absence of any distress signal, especially considering Thomas's access to a walkie-talkie, only added to the complexity of the case. The puzzle of Thomas Messick Sr.'s disappearance remains unsolved to this day. The forest that was once his hunting ground has become the setting of a profound mystery, one that continues to captivate and baffle. Despite the passage of time, questions linger. What happened to Thomas on that November day? Why did he leave his post? And where could he have ventured off to? The lack of evidence, the thoroughness of the search, and Thomas's expertise in the wilderness combined to create a narrative that is as confounding as it is intriguing. His story stands as a testament to the unpredictable nature of the wild and the mysteries that it still holds. In the tranquil expanse of Schuylerville, New York, a small town known for its beauty and proximity to the notorious Bennington Triangle, the unexplained disappearance of 68-year-old Frederick Fritz Drum on November 24, 2015, casts a long, unsettling shadow. This mystery, entwined with the similar, perplexing case of Thomas Messick Sr., forms a tapestry of unanswered questions and eerie coincidences. Frederick Drum, a man deeply rooted in his community, lived with his wife Ruth on a vast 178-acre farm. Their life there was idyllic, set against the backdrop of upstate New York's rolling hills and landscapes. Fritz, an accomplished hunter and lover of the outdoors, had adapted well to the region's harsh winters. He spent his retirement days exploring the property, observing wildlife, and tracking animals along the creek that meandered through their land. His mental faculties were sharp, with no indications of dementia or cognitive decline. Fritz's contributions to his community extended beyond his love for nature. For 14 years, he had served diligently on Schuylerville's city council. His decisions were fair, and he was both liked and respected, a testament to his character and integrity. On the day Fritz vanished, it began like any other. He and Ruth shared a morning coffee, a ritual embodying the simplicity and comfort of their long-shared life. Ruth left for a grandparents' breakfast at 10 a.m., while Fritz preferred the solace of their farm. When she returned at 2 p.m., the barn was empty, and Fritz was nowhere to be found. His belongings, including his cell phone and car keys, were inside the house, suggesting that he hadn't gone far. As darkness fell upon the farm and Fritz did not return, Ruth's concern turned into alarm. By the next morning, with Fritz still missing, she reported his disappearance, igniting a large-scale search. The Saratoga County Sheriff's Department, alongside over 200 volunteers, search and rescue teams, helicopters, and canine units, embarked on an exhaustive search. They combed through the Drum property and expanded their efforts to an astounding 1,200 acres surrounding the area. Despite this extensive and thorough search, no evidence of Fritz's whereabouts emerged. It was as if he had vanished into the ether, leaving behind a baffling mystery that echoed the strange disappearance of Thomas Messick Sr., who had vanished under similarly mysterious circumstances in the same region just 1 year before. The proximity of these two cases, both geographically and culturally, paints a picture of a region shrouded in mystery. Schuylerville's closeness to the Bennington Triangle, an area notorious for unexplained disappearances, only deepens this intrigue. Some speculate there might be a connection between these disappearances and the mysterious forces often attributed to the triangle. The shared characteristics of Fritz's and Thomas's case are striking. Both were experienced outdoorsmen, well respected in their communities, with no known reasons to vanish voluntarily. Their disappearances from locations where they were familiar and comfortable without any trace challenges logical explanations. The involvement of extensive search teams, the use of modern technology, and the lack of any clues or evidence add layers of complexity to this case. The absence of any signs of a struggle, foul play, or intention to leave raises more questions than answers. The region's wilderness, while beautiful, holds secrets that seem beyond the grasp of those who seek to uncover them. Since the years of their disappearances have passed, their stories remain open chapters in unexplained mysteries. Families, communities, and investigators continue to grapple with the unknown, holding onto the hope that someday some light may be shed on these perplexing cases. The disappearances of Frederick Fritz Drum and Thomas Messick Sr. stands as reminders of the profound mysteries that lie within the natural world, silent and yet to be unraveled. As we reach the end of our exploration into these puzzling disappearances, we are left with more questions than answers. These cases, unfolding in the vast wilderness of upstate New York, serve as reminders of the mysteries that still elude our understanding. Despite extensive searches and the passage of time, the fates of Fritz and Thomas remain shrouded in mystery, their stories a testament to the unpredictability and profound mysteries of nature. As we continue to ponder their disappearances, these cases remind us of the fragility of our existence against the backdrop of the natural world. They stand as enduring mysteries, captivating and confounding us, and reminding us that some secrets of the universe are perhaps destined to remain unsolved. In drawing to a close of our exploration of the perplexing and haunting cases of the Bennington Triangle, it becomes clear that these stories are more than mere tales of mystery and intrigue. They offer profound lessons and insights, reflecting both the enigmatic nature of our world and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of the unknown. The first and perhaps most vital lesson from these disappearances is the importance of caution and preparedness when venturing into vast expanses of nature. The wilderness, with its alluring beauty, also harbors uncertainties and hidden dangers. These cases underscore the necessity of being well prepared, carrying adequate supplies, informing others of your route, and understanding the terrain you plan to explore. Nature, for all its splendor, demands respect and caution. Additionally, these mysterious occurrences in the Bennington Triangle highlight the significance of community response and the collective effort in times of adversity. The extensive searches conducted, encompassing both local authorities and community members, exemplify how solidarity and cooperation are essential in overcoming challenges and seeking resolutions. These efforts, though not always successful in providing closure, demonstrate a communal strength and shared purpose in the face of bewildering circumstances. Furthermore, these stories beckon us to embrace the mysteries and the unknown aspects of our existence. In an age where information is at our fingertips, the Bennington Triangle serves as a reminder that there are still phenomena beyond our understanding, mysteries that defy rational explanations. These tales invite us to ponder, to question, and to wonder, keeping alive the sense of mystery that has been part of human storytelling and exploration throughout history. As we conclude this exploration into the shadowed woods and obscured truths of the Bennington Triangle, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to you, the viewer, for joining us on this journey into the unknown. Your curiosity and engagement are what make delving into these mysteries so rewarding. If you've watched until the end, it's clear these stories have resonated with you, and for that, I am truly grateful. If you've found these tales as captivating and thought-provoking as I have, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new content delving into the mysterious and the unexplained. For those of you who feel particularly moved or intrigued by these stories, I encourage you to leave a super comment. Your support, in any form or amount, is immensely appreciated and vital in bringing these mysteries and compelling narratives to a wider audience. Thank you once again for your time and for sharing in the fascination of the unexplained mysteries that surround us. Stay curious and keep exploring the mysteries of our world.